We made it. A little bit of a struggle to get this thing to go live. It is acting very squirrely at the moment. You guys can imagine, maybe you've heard the news. YouTube is now finally kind of coming out of the closet in terms of their draconian leanings and their political bias, and just kind of coming out as a more respectable position on their part to come completely out and just kind of let everyone know where they stand so that we can maybe engage in some kind of debate or at least an honest conversation. So here we are. Oh man, book burning. You guys have heard about that deal, right? You guys remember Indiana Jones? For those of you who maybe don't watch the History Channel, maybe you've seen movies. In the movie Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, he has to go to Berlin to get the book, right? And he has to go in there and get it from, I forget what the story is exactly, but they're doing the book burning with Adolf and all those goofballs back in the day. If they couldn't win an argument in real life, they would just not allow you to speak. The second they can't win a debate, they would just get on there and shut down your speech because it was way too dangerous for them to allow the opposition to make their point, because the point was pure veritas. That Adolf and his buddies, what they were up to was way, way, way bad. And so here we are today, kind of looking at an interesting situation. And I think it's hard to articulate this without being accused of hyperbolating, without establishing a little bit of a historical context, guys. Now, this is being recorded live. If they shut this bad boy down, you know what's going on. But we are actually really here in history. It's so interesting to be able to watch this unfold and to be right in the middle of the bar fight, so to speak. And so here we are. By the way, Lou and myself, on the way home from the last training event in California, discovered that if we drink too much coffee on the road, we start to have epic rants. So I figured I'd pour a cup of coffee, and I can only have like 1 or 2 cups of coffee, and then it wigs me out a little bit. So I got 1 good cup of medium roast, and we'll see where this leads. Also, you guys have known for years, who have been watching the material we put up here on my outlets, that I'm a relatively clean-spoken guy. I try to be that way. I have suppressed the cussing for a long time, but that's because I don't like to use it willy-nilly. It's like the boy that cried wolf. I want to save it for the actual occasion when it is necessary, for special occasions. So this broadcast may be one of our final live broadcasts, depending on how crazy they get. And before we switch to another outlet, we are diversifying the media operations, obviously. We will make sure that our stuff gets out one way or the other. So it's exciting to roll with the punches and try to fight the battles, guys. But we'll see how that goes. But in terms of this particular broadcast, this is for adults, guys. This is some heavy-hitting information we're going to get into. It does actually piss me off a lot. But we're going to handle it in as professional a way as we can. But if there's certain things that warrant strong language, we will use it, maybe, okay? I'll try to be a gentleman as much as possible. Not going to get out of hand for no reason. All right, so that's my disclaimer for this one, guys. And I won't show any firearms on this video. God forbid they shut down the entire channel because it's offensive, right? So we're going to tackle this topic of 21st century book burning from a multifaceted approach. A guy, before he understands what's going on right now and what he could project to happen in the future, we have to understand a little bit of history, right? So I'm going to start off with what happened in the past. Then I'll continue on with what is happening right now, okay? Right as we speak today, this morning. And then we'll get into the optimistic part where we're going to explain how we're going to fight. Very exciting, guys, in the future, right? How we're going to bring it back and see what we need to do. So past, present, and future analysis of this topic, because this is one of the most key moments of our time, probably, if you really look at it. And it's kind of like the last chance a guy has to really do it a peaceful way is to talk about things and try to win the debate, right? Before they take away your freedom to speak. So here we are speaking in a last-ditch effort to be gentlemen, nice guys, and all that kind of stuff, right? And I would never, ever suggest anyone go on the offense in a kinetic deal or a direct action deal, that's out of line. I don't endorse that. I'm a self-defense kind of guy. But maybe I'll run away into the forest if I have to. All right, guys, you ready for this deal? By the way, we are streaming on both Facebook and YouTube live right now. If one of them sucks, you can go to the other one, and we'll see how that works. And we'll just go from there. So we're going to do a quick history. Don't worry, guys. I will make it entertaining as I do every other topic. A quick history on the darkness that has really engulfed the world, which is suppression of speech and freedom of expression, all the stuff the liberals claim they totally live to protect. We're going to go over the history, the dark history of book burning real quick. I'm going to read this. This is off of, I forget exactly where I got it from, but it's just a little quick history lesson. Let's go through this. Then we can understand who the hell is up to this deal, who is doing this. We'll understand why they did it, and then we'll understand what happened next. It's very, very important that we understand what happened next, okay? So that we can prepare for that deal. All right, guys, so book burning refers to the ritual destruction of books by fire or other written materials. Nowadays, materials and communications are typically written in zeros and ones digitally, right? Usually carried out in a public context, the burning of books represents the element of censorship and usually precedes from cultural, religious, or political opposition to the materials in question, right? This deal started back, way before the Indiana Jones movie with Adolf and his buddies there. This started kind of in 1817. It really goes way back before that. This has been done all throughout history. When the Romans wiped out, I think it was the Ostrogoths, the Visigoths, and the Vandals, they totally erased their entire history off the face of the earth because they didn't like those guys. And so now nobody even heard of those countries because the history has been completely wiped out. But in 1817, there was a group of the German student associations, and they got the word here. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Let's see if you can see that. Anyone speak German can pronounce that? I can't pronounce it. Forgive me. And they chose the 300th anniversary of Martin Luther's 95 Thesis, but they kind of politicized it and made it a new deal. And it was actually the students who got involved, and they're trying to demonstrate for a unified country. And they were kind of a patchwork of states at that time. And they burned a whole pile of books, anti-national and reactionary texts and literature, which the students viewed as un-German, okay? So if they didn't like what way of life was, or if they didn't like a certain context or certain argument, they would just burn the books. The famous one that we're all familiar with in our heads is in 1933. It is interesting to know. You guys know who pulled this shit off in the beginning? It was the Nazi German authorities aimed to synchronize professional and cultural organizations. Does that sound familiar? That's going on right now? They wanted to synchronize professional and cultural organizations with Nazi ideology or National Socialist ideology, right? And so Joseph Goebbels, or however you want to say his name, was the prime minister for popular enlightenment and propaganda. And he began an effort to bring the German arts and culture back into line with what the National Socialist guys thought would be what they needed to have. And so the government purged all the cultural organizations that they didn't like and got a little Western and started some more books on fire. They said that how is it worded here? They described them as degenerate writings, right? And so the National Socialist German Studies Association, Students Associations, another group of students, guys, the educated kids, the kids who are smart and supposed to stand up for rights, are doing this for good intentions. And they got together with the Nazi German Student Association's main office, and how did they word it? What did Goebbels say here? This is what they said when they're lighting the books on fires, guys. No to decadence and moral corruption. Yes to decency and morality in family and state. So the students got together and said, no more of this stuff. We're gonna get rid of this moral corruption and we're gonna have decency for once. And they lit all the books on fire. Can anyone tell me what happened after that deal? That was 1933 in the National Socialist Germany. Okay, what happened there? Quiz question. Hello? Anyone know the answer? I think a few people might know the answer. A lot of us have been vegging out on Friends on TV or whatever the hell that deal is, right? Yeah. World War II happened, guys, because they went way overboard. They got complete leverage over the entire populace because they now controlled all the communications. In the name of morality and decency, they shut down the communications they could not compete with, the arguments, and so they shut it down. So what do we see happening now, guys? And really, this ain't no surprise. I mean, I see this deal coming since I was a kid, right? And it's been progressively stepping up, particularly in the internet age when people started accidentally having the freedom to speak again. Because as we're growing up, the media outlets have controlled 100% of everything being propagated. It was the most damn impressive propaganda force the earth has ever seen was the television set. Because they could mainstream their arguments to the entire population with nobody talking back or conversing. So it was just a continuous download without any kind of recycle of information. Then the internet came along, which they intended to be a next generation, like hardcore tool that they could use against us. And it kind of backfired because they found out, oh shit, people actually are talking to each other. And so you have the resurgence of liberty again, right? And so what's been happening in the last few months, really hardcore, and really in the last couple of years, is the students who are trying to stand up for moral decency and make sure everyone's doing everything properly according to their morality, right? Those guys got together and they started banning everyone's speech. And I'm talking not crazy guys. I mean, of course they say they're banning the Ku Klux Klan and all these goofballs or whoever these Nazi guys are. But it's interesting that they're the socialists. The Nazis were National Socialists, guys. That's what that means, by the way. But they shut down guys like Ben Shapiro. Ever see him? He wears a suit. He talks nice. He doesn't cuss. He doesn't yell. He's an articulate gentleman who engages in fearsome debate with ideals and ideologies that maybe some of the student leagues of today, just like back in these days, it was the student leagues that got together and started banning everyone's free speech back then and banning the sharing of communication through the media of the time, which was books. They banned that shit. So, with Shapiro, they shut him down because they can't argue with him. Every time they try arguing with him, they lose. So what do? They shut down the speech. Do you see a pattern happening here? Do you see this echoing again, guys? Is this something that's continuing to happen? You got these, what are these guys who are like really get off on conflict? Like Gavin McInnes, who's kind of funny, but like really, really, really pushes the envelope. They banned that guy. And it's all political. And so they pick a side and they ban the other side. When that shit starts happening, guys, that should have been a clue to wake up, okay? I mean, I'm just saying. And so in the gun world, we've seen this deal coming for a while. It was last year. They thought, oh man, we're going to shut down the gun channels. We'll demonetize them. That'll learn them, right? Problem was, a lot of us were smart enough to diversify our operations. I never actually did. I kind of left it on YouTube. I wanted my stuff to be available for as long as possible for absolutely free with no money. As long as humanly possible, okay? And so a lot of the guys either diversified their operations or kind of cleaned up the certain bullet points that YouTube was making demands on. And YouTube did shut down a lot of communications there, but they thought that going for the pocketbook would go straight for the throat. The problem is, the pocketbook is a thing. Having money is a thing, but you know what's more important than that? Preserving the liberty of the United States. That's what most of these gun channel guys are into. It's their way of life. It is their culture. They're not going to just shut up because you take away their 12 cents a day that you were sending them before. You think you got that much leverage on them? And so what are they doing now? They just started working on this one, guys. And again, who is it? Who is the one spearheading this movement? It's the students again. It's the... What the hell was the name of the department of the students I was just reading in this history? It's hilarious because it's almost identical to what they had back in Germany in 1933. What was the name of it? Oh, man. Forgive me. Give me a second. We are live, guys. Yeah, it was the Nazi German Student Association, and they had a department that was really just, oh, man, I read it in here. I can't find it at the moment. But it was the same exact parallel to what we're seeing today. And that's not hyperbole. That's freaking history, guys. That's out of a history page, okay? And so here we are today. And they started with the gun channels. And now they're actually just saying, all right, guys, we're just going to completely shut that down in the name of decency and morality. Decency and morality? YouTube, guys? Are you serious? Dude, here's the reality. Let me have a swig of this coffee right here, okay? For over 10 years, man, YouTube has allowed the most horrible shit on earth to exist on their platform. Horrible. Ever hear of the Arab Spring? You ever hear of ethnic cleansing? You ever hear of ISIS? You ever hear that shit? Those bastards at YouTube and Google, the evil bastards that are deciding whose morality, what morality are we talking about here, guys? You talking about ISIS morality? Because that would make a hell of a lot more sense. Because you allow videos of people getting their heads cut off and people getting executed with the religious music in the background and all the little writing underneath there for these propaganda guys to spread their deal, which resulted in the murdering of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people in horrible ways across the face of the whole frickin' earth. Because you gave them a platform to spread the propaganda in the name of freedom of speech and thought. You didn't want to crack down because you believed in free speech and thought, okay. But then now you're cracking down on the American culture where you got Hickok45, who's a sweet old grandpa, who's showing kids how to responsibly handle firearms and clean their weapon and showing how fun it is to shoot a revolver. You shut that down, but you're going to leave all this ISIS stuff up on there? You guys are freaking crazy and you can kiss my ass. If you want to shut down my channel for saying that, that would be awesome. I would be honored to have that happen to me. It'd actually be a break, guys. I mean, I'd diversify. I'd put it up somewhere where it's free, but it would be a hell of a break. It's been hard riding this bucking horse, guys. I've done a lot more than 8 seconds on this horse, as have some of my compadres in the YouTube world, right? And so here we are, man. They're letting those guys upload their shit. So in the name of moral decency, they're going to make all these moves. Oh, it's just not right that you guys are freaking, showing your guns and stuff like this. We don't believe in that. Oh, really? What is all these Hollywood movies you guys pay for and put up on there, huh? So it's okay. Dude, check this out. I got some good friends, and they're showing me this movie that, this is like teenage kids are watching this movie in the theater. The Kingsman or some damn thing like that. It's kind of marketed for like middle school teenagers. Anyone who is an adult who watches it and thinks it's fun might be a little bit retarded because it's really, really stupid. I haven't had TV since '99 though, so I'm allowed to say that. But, so I was watching this movie and they're glorifying with music this like awesome, cool ninja, British, secret ninja guy running through a church with a freaking pistol just executing old ladies and shit on slow motion. And of course, they drafted out in the movie that, oh yeah, this church is bad. They're like a Westboro Baptist church deal, which I don't go to them style churches. They're a bunch of assholes, right? But they're showing this with music like how awesome it is. And then you wonder why people go and freaking shoot everyone in churches and schools and shit. And you guys glorify it. You guys make your living on it. You sell commercials on your page. That's fine. You can sell. Dude, I put on a decent video on YouTube about Jesus or something, and then that freaking commercial comes up in front of it. You guys are crazy as hell. Just saying, okay? And then you got, if you want to really get into the realm of crazy stuff, you can get into the bad part of YouTube where they show like, oh, let's shoot 900 teenage kids in the head and throw them in a river over in Syria. Let's put that on YouTube. And it's on there, and they don't take it down. But then when Hickok45 wants to show his revolver, they take that shit down, don't they? Makes you wonder whose side they're on, guys. I'm telling you, for those of you guys who have the software to copy this video, because it's live, I don't have a copy of it. Once the sucker posts, save it. And then when they take it down, because they'll take it down, I can almost guarantee it. They will take it down. Too offensive. He's talking against our boys ISIS. How can he do that? He's saying that normal grandpas teaching their kids to shoot are bad, or are okay, and that the ISIS guys are bad. This guy's out of line. We got to take him off of YouTube. You guys save this video, and then I want like 9,000 people to upload it every time they try to take it down again. Rex's last rant. I was tempted to just kind of roll over and let him gnaw at the guts for a while and say, oh man, what do I need to do? If I just maybe take some of these links off my videos that are to gun stores or whatever the hell, and I don't have any, most of my videos don't have links on there. I'm just reviewing. I do mostly instructional stuff, right? So I was thinking, oh man, how can I kowtow and kind of preserve my subscribers? I got like 143,000 subscribers. It takes a while to gain that, man. That's a lot of work. I thought that was pretty cool. You guys kick ass. You're cool. The reason you come here is because we speak the truth, right? Well, I can allow those bastards to tell me what to say. And you shouldn't do it either, guys. This is our country. And they claim to be a private organization. Really? Then how come you accept all that government money? It's just as private as a public school or a university, guys. It's government funded, so they can kiss my ass on the private deal argument. That's not even true. I mean, yeah, they're a private corporation, but they receive all this government money. Now they have to adhere to their standards of the First Amendment. Plus, they advertise falsely as being a freedom of speech type place. Open forum. Talk about whatever you want. They let the crazy bastards talk about what they want. They even let them upload their crazy propaganda videos, right? But then when it comes to guys in the culture they don't like, which is the 1961 American culture, which maybe I would like to participate in, which is just like, hey, you guys want me to define my culture, by the way? So in case any of the controllers who are hitting on the kill switch right now are wondering, seriously, guys. All right, now I'm going to be nice because I'm going to explain what I actually want out of life. This is my culture that I want to preserve. I don't care what damn color you are, white, black, purple, yellow, red, whatever. I don't care. I really actually don't. But if anyone wants to come over and have a barbecue in my backyard, we'll listen to some rock and roll, some Johnny Cash, whatever, or you can listen to whatever music you want. I'd sit back there, have a barbecue, enjoy the sunshine, look at some squirrels, maybe, discuss literature. I don't know, play the guitar. That's all I want to do. That's it. It's called freedom. It's called liking people and loving people. And if you fuckers got a problem with that, over at YouTube, letting these ISIS videos and shit up there for years, and all this crazy propaganda shit, and you can demonstrate exactly where you're at, thank you so much for coming out in the open. We appreciate that. Now we know. But yeah, by the way, you can kiss my ass, just in case I didn't say that yet. So what are they doing right now, guys? Any gun channel is like off limits, right? They're saying that if you have any kind of like, if you put a video on there that shows a gun and it's encouraging people to maybe buy one, then, that's facilitating the sale of a weapon or whatever. And in their terms and conditions are saying, you got to take that down or we're shutting down the whole channel, right? Okay? So they're just going straight for the nuts on that deal. By the way, I think a huge portion of YouTube is just firearms. Like 10%, 5%, I don't know how much it is, but it's a lot. And so it's a big industry they're attacking, but they're getting paid by other people. Like I said, they're not a private organization. A lot of people wonder why they would do such a move. They would kick their own butt so bad, right? Just saying. And I like all cultures, even the ones from over in the Middle East and stuff like that. Most of those people are good folks, man. Most of them are. They just want to have a barber shop. They want to do, like I said, have a barbecue in the backyard or whatever their equivalent of that is. And they just want to hang out and have a family and, maybe get a swimming pool or whatever. I mean, that's kind of their deal, right? Everyone just kind of wants to live and love their family. So I'm not against people from different places. I'm just saying that the radical, crazy guys, the worst ones on earth, they've been supporting and assisting them for so long, and now they're cracking down on us. It's crazy, man. So, what are we going to do? Huh? Oh, man, I'm going to roll over and just take off all my shit. Well, we'll see. It depends on how this deal rolls. If the YouTube channel just takes down the videos that they find against their communist, national socialist, ISIS leanings, then they can take them down or whatever. We'll provide as much content as they allow us to provide on here. Maybe we can do comedy. Maybe we can do just Bible studies until they shut those down and start, crucifying people on the roads. It's probably their plan pretty soon. If you read history, hey, by the way, what happened after 1933? What happened last time they did book burning, guys? How long did that stay peaceful for? A couple years, right? But once they shut down the oppositional speech, they can only propagate in one way until they completely go off the frickin' rails on a crazy train. And then they start killing people and stuff. That's what they do, not us. That's what they do. If you read a history book, just from a historical studies point of view, right, guys? That's where we're actually at. So people say, oh, let it rant. Why would you need to complain about this? I don't care about my livelihood. I can do a lot of stuff. I can play the guitar for a job. I can like go do other jobs. I can engineer. I can be a mountain man. I can collect pelts. I can do whatever I need to do. I don't care. There's a million things I could do. But in an effort to kind of preserve our way of life, that's why most of us guys who preach this stuff are here. That's why most of us guys are trying to get everyone equipped and trained to preserve liberty with the liberty teeth, the preservation mechanism, which is the Second Amendment, and the First Amendment. That's why we're here. So I am strongly exercising my First Amendment now. This is like what they call when you take the safety off, the First Amendment, and you start pulling the trigger a lot, okay? It's called suppressive fire. We're trying to move. And so what are we going to do? Well, if they shut down, I'll make sure that my stuff gets up someplace. If that's not possible, then, well, bummer. I hope whoever had a good ride on that deal can learn from what we had to teach. Hopefully it's invigorated the long-range shooting culture enough to where you guys are kind of at a viability point and you can train each other. Of course, we'll still offer our stuff on rexreviews.org. You might want to write that down. rexreviews.org is where we're going to have the podcast show. We hope to continue the podcast show. But even that deal, guys, did you know that here's some inside information. On iTunes and on SoundCloud, when we post our podcast video, it has to like wait a few hours. And it says something about verifying that this meets our community standards. Oh, here we are again. The students and the National Socialists are going to make sure everything's nice and happy. And, Goebbels was a real nice guy. He wanted everyone to make sure they're nice and clean and safe and staying up to the moral standards so that we can kill you later. Huh? That's what Goebbels was into, right? A little bit cuckoo. Them guys are crazy. But we will attempt to upload this stuff and continue to do so. I do have everything backed up. The guys are worried about if I have it on backup. So one way, whether if you have to send out a flash drive everywhere across Earth and charge you shipping and handling for it, we'll get it out there somehow, guys. So yeah, that's pretty entertaining. But I thought it was pretty damn interesting how the pattern has been unfolding. And it's the same group and the same mechanisms they're using back in the 30s that they're using exactly today in the 21st century. 2018, guys, was the year that they burned all the books they didn't like digitally, zeros and ones. Throw them all in the bonfire, get rid of them, distribute them into the chaos zone. Gone, never to be remembered again. And what follows, hopefully, is not the same thing that happened the last multiple times that shit went down. So, that's a little bit sobering, but for anyone who is wondering what was going on, that's what's going on. Of course, I will be providing reviews on our multiple media outlets if this deal does go down. And of course, I'm going to try to be smart about it and keep it on air as long as possible. But just do know that if it went down, that's what's going on, guys. And like I said, save this one for the collection because this is like crystal knocked type shit going on us GunTube guys, right? I mean, I'm dead serious. It's ridiculous. And whoever's sitting on the couch is nuts, dude. You guys got to actually help out a little bit. So do spread the word. If you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, guys, rexreviews.org, there's a little thing up in the corner. You can subscribe to the newsletter, and we'll send you updates on wherever we change platforms to. We're thinking like maybe Patreon. I don't know if there's like Liber TV, Full 30. I don't know. You guys tell me in the commentaries which deals you think would be the best uploaded to. I like to find a freedom of speech outfit that we can say anything we want. How fun would it be to be allowed to say whatever we want, guys? Ever think about that? Man, I'll tell you what, these kids nowadays growing up in this country don't understand what freedom is. I remember when I was little, man, my father told me that in America it's awesome because in Soviet Russia, if you say the wrong stuff, they shut you down, man. They shut it down. You're not allowed to talk. You disappear. They take away your work. They don't let you do anything, right? And I thought, holy Moses, that's horrible. How could that happen someplace? I'm like, wow, America's awesome. We get to say whatever we want, right? Yeah. And here we are. They are chomping at the bit. They are full-fledged. They're ransacking our libraries and burning our books, guys. That's a freaking clue, okay? So maybe one thing you could do is keep adding books to the library. So you guys, if you get a little radical in terms of the First Amendment operations, upload a video. Upload a video on this topic right here and say, YouTube, what the hell do you think you're doing? Kiss my ass. You better take down all the video games because those are actually great. Here's something else too. These folks that are complaining about firearms in the United States, right? First of all, they take their kids to go watch The Kingsman or whatever movie that is so they can show them how funny it is when some dude runs through a church with a piece, like breaking jawbones, like shoot some old lady in the head, like run over, break the preacher. I don't even remember that movie. That movie was stupid. So they take their kids to that, but they don't like guys shooting guns responsibly. Then for Christmas, they gave their kids freaking Grand Theft Auto 4, where they drive around and run over people, which has happened in real life lately, and then they get out and just randomly shoot people, grab hookers, and do whatever they want. It's crazy. You get bonus points. If you people who are of our moral superiors who are making these decisions think that stuff is great to keep on YouTube and to put under the freaking Christmas tree, you guys are crazy as hell. Just letting you know. And if you continue that behavior, wow. I mean, God knows how this next generation is going to turn out. We're already starting to see it. The second they learn where to actually get a real weapon, it's horrible. Way to go. You wrecked the culture, guys. You told everyone that that's the way to do stuff. That's your version of entertaining your children? To take them to movies like that and let them play those games? I'm just saying, maybe you should have bought him like a Marlin Glenfield 22 rifle, had him go out behind the house and shoot a pop can, and then maybe go hunting for a rabbit or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That might have been maybe a little more wholesome. You didn't see this kind of behavior back in the 60s, guys. There we are. What do you guys think? We are available as long as they don't hit the kill switch, which is coming very soon. I can guarantee someone's going to hit the, the flag button on this thing. They're going to hit that pronto. Enjoy it while it's here, boys. What do we got to say? We'll take a couple comments on, first of all, we got the YouTube live stream and the Facebook over here. We'll go back and forth, guys. All right. So we got a lot of discussion. Any questions on what we got going here or any firearm stuff too? We can talk about whatever you guys want. Yeah. Dumb down and smash tribes worship and dead slaves? Yeah, I think some of these people are spelling stuff weird. Let's go over to Facebook. Am I still live on there, guys? Oh, yeah. If you need a server to host your videos and can't find one, let me know and I will see what I can do to help you out. That's from Tom Martinson. Yeah, dude, any of you guys that can help us out, in the comments, if you're concise in the comments, it's more helpful. A lot of you guys are very thorough and you like to have a 9,000-page article attached to a comment or a suggestion. Just put in bullet points for me, guys. Just list out the places that allow free upload of videos and I'll post them everywhere, guys. That's fine. I can task media crew to get that done, and then it'll be available elsewhere. And then we can still talk like we like to on the YouTube page. Right now, pretty much everything's on YouTube in terms of videos. With how fast things are moving today versus previous generations, wouldn't a collapse come soon after something after this? Well, sure. That's why I'm talking here, guys. This ain't like my hobby at all. You guys might not understand that. Looks like we're having a lot of fun when we do these. This ain't my hobby. This is not even my work. This is my responsibility. Gotta speak Veritas, man. I want this country to last for another 10 minutes so that the good folks who've been too hardworking to keep track of all this shit can raise their kids in a free country and enjoy what we've had. Unfortunately, they have us by the balls, and we don't even know it because we've been poisoned in the mind. We've been poisoned in the mind by media, okay? And the cultural, educational bullshit that's been preached in the schools. They've turned your kids into radical communists, by the way, guys. If you're not talking to your kid every day when they come home from school, what did you learn in school, son? My old man did that with me. They sent me to public education. I've seen it. I've also been to parochial education, too, private. And every day he would ask me, what did you learn? And I'd tell him about it, and he would straighten my ass out. He would explain to me the full context, the other side of the argument. And I always learned to question things and study things fully. If you guys got kids, you got a responsibility to do that. If If you're sitting on the couch when your kids come home from school, you're an asshole. You need to talk to them, guys. They're dependent on you to survive. If you want your genes to be passed on for eternity into the space age around the corner next couple hundred years, it's time to get your ass off the couch right now. I'm talking 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And for those of you who have been doing it, I know who you guys are. You are the salt of the earth and my blood brothers, and I love you guys. I do. And I know who you guys are. You know who I'm talking about. But it's a battle, guys. And unfortunately, all the crazy nut jobs in charge of everything on the media end, the ones dishing out the battle, are not going to stop just because we have our ducks in a row. That infuriates them more. They hate goodness and what we stand for. They're never going to stop. So it's like when the village is being like ransacked by freaking barbarians. What are you going to do? You're going to sit there and just eat corn on the cob, watching the campfire? No, that's the time when you get off your ass. And either get your kids out of the village and escape, or you go and fight the barbarians. That's where we're at, guys. And if you're too blind to see it, you need to open your eyes up. You need to snap out of it. And there's a lot of people who are good people that are just sleeping too. So don't be mad at someone if they don't know all this context. They are asleep. They're in a trance. It's why they have 32 flickers per second on the television, because it puts you into a trance and it puts you asleep. And then, you ever notice how you go into like a bar or restaurant and you're trying to eat your chicken fried dinner or whatever the hell it is, and the TV just like draws your eyes to it, and you're just like glued to it, and everyone's slobbering like on the feed bag, just munching down on their food, watching the TV go off? It's a freaking weapon, dude. Where do you think they put it in your house for? Why do you think they call it programming? Rex is talking weird stuff again. He's a conspiracy theorist. Oh yeah. No one in history, guys, has ever conspired with another criminal to do bad stuff to rob the earth. There's never been Alexander the Great or like Artaxerxes or, the Caesars who tried to take over the world. Never would have happened. They never thought, there's never been dictators that almost had complete control of the world that sat in rooms thinking all day long how to hose you. Never has happened ever in a history book. All that ever happened in real life was Barney the dinosaur, the purple dinosaur. They're not converting me to Barney, guys. I will remain the actual real Tiborosaurus Rex. Okay? So don't worry about that. Oh boy. All right, before we get on too long-winded here, we're going to leave that message at that. Do stay tuned for more videos as long as they let us go. Like I said, don't be surprised when they're gone. You can search for us once YouTube is down. That's the clue that it is on. And there we go. And so do be looking for Rex Reviews or Long Range 101 or Sniper 101 or whatever we end up calling it. Tiborosaurus Rex. Kind of write this stuff down. And also, if you do subscribe to our newsletter, we do have all our updates on training, all our media updates. We're actually going to give the webpage an uplift so that we can post new reviews in written form that'll be up there forever and never get messed with. And we'll also post all those video reviews on multiple other media outlets as well, provided eventually they don't let me post them. From what it looked like, I think most of the barrage went towards bump fire stocks and shit like that, and full autos or Uzis or something, okay? So I don't know exactly where it's going. I'm kind of an optics guy and a precision shooting guy. I don't know if we're going to take the first barrage as worse as everyone else, but it is totally coming for real. Okay, guys? Just wanted to let you know. And I'm really dead serious about this sitting on the couch business, guys. We can't be doing that no more. It's time to get loud. You need to start sharing who you are. Oh, they're going to categorize me. They're going to know who I am. Dude, if you're watching this, you are in a computer already. You're already on the list. You're just too big of a chicken to get out there and start talking. And not everyone's meant to be a prophet guy on the YouTube, right? Just yelling random truth stuff all the time. And I'm not a prophet biblically, but I mean, we have to profess what is really going on. That is our job. If you have an ability to do that, don't be shy to do it, guys. Let them have it. Distribute reality. All right, guys. And we do enjoy hanging out with you. And I'm trying to find the button to kill this thing. Oh dear God.